So let's talk about conversion. Um,
Yeah.
Tell me your take on conversion. Conversion is the magic bullet, right? So it's
Yeah.
the cure to all problems, and key to a lot of dough in the bank, and so that's how it
Yeah,
is. So
absolutely. Yeah.
so what
So,
do you do with it?
so one thing I really love to hone in on conversion rate is if you kind of step back and look at Amazon as a marketplace, there are some mechanisms that you can see readily available as you navigate around the site that you can kind of find ways to make them work for you instead of against you. And if you're looking at the conversion rate of your listing, so you're looking at like, the home for that product, it's the product display page, and you can see your conversion rate going down. That can be for a whole host of different reasons. And one of the things that, I spent a lot of time at Thrasio on a marketing and creative team where we were constantly looking at listings, looking at MLPs, A/B testing things to see, okay, if we swap a MLP from this image without packaging to this image with packaging, or with a person or not with a person, like, does that increase the conversion rate or the click-through rate and then the conversion rate of a product? I still come back to, when you're on Amazon and on a product display page, there is a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of sponsored product ads, there's display ads, there's competitor products, all of this noise on the product display page. So one area specific to conversion rate, if you're seeing your conversion rate go down and you're maybe not entirely sure if it's like a competitive, a price, a buy box, somebody came in and hijacked a listing and changed your bullets or whatever it may be. If you're not sure, one thing hopefully you can control is your storefront. And an Amazon storefront can be a really, really great way to help improve the sales velocity of a product, and allows you as the seller to be able to eliminate a lot of that noise that is currently on a listing, because on your storefront, you don't have a ton of competitor products. It's not like an advertising uh, canvas, if you will, for your competitors to say, hey, we want to be able to try and kind of like capture some of the traffic that's going to your listing. You can really hone in and curate a storefront to a specific product to be able to highlight the features and benefits and hopefully get somebody to convert. And Amazon's really made a lot of nice strides in their storefront space to be able to give you some of those metrics like conversion rate on a storefront that, years ago we didn't really have, but you did have that on a product display page. So now you can also start to see your conversions on your products on your storefront, and use that as a mechanism to try to help you push through when you maybe can't diagnose a conversion rate issue on your listing.
So I mean, in all fairness, how much of the business a seller generates comes from the storefront page? Because a lot of people are running PPC ads, driving external traffic or whatever, and they're driving it all direct to the public product detail page.
Yeah.
So that is it. It's all about like looking at taking your listing live, and 2 days later you're looking at your performance, say, oh, this is what I'm doing. Well, it's only 2 days of data. So if you look at your storefront performance, it's going to be limited amount of data
Yep.
because most of the business comes from. So is that how heavily do you utilize that data?
Yeah, great question. It definitely depends on, I don't want to say necessarily the brand manager, the account manager, or the brand, but there's definitely a holistic strategy, I think, that goes into seeing storefronts truly be able to like see their day and get you a lot of sales. Sponsored brand ads can point directly to a storefront, as we know, a lot of people, a lot of sellers out there are driving external traffic directly to a listing. You can drive external traffic directly to a storefront page as well. So as the mechanisms on storefronts, I think, get better, I think we'll probably naturally start to see more and more people try to leverage storefronts. I would say that storefronts are also somewhere that Amazon, if you look at Walmart.com or Target.com and look at, okay, I'm a brand and I'm trying to merchandise my set of products in this vertical where there's hundreds of thousands of products, typically their brand page is simply just the search query of the brand, and they present you with a wall of products. So in this case, I would say Amazon's definitely got an upper hand right now in the storefront space. And I've naturally over the last few years started to see storefronts become more of like an active piece to a PPC strategy or a product strategy as you go to market and try to get sales velocity, but have a hard time penetrating on just the specific search terms you might be going after.
You know, Cameron, one thing that I'm seeing more and more of is people link to their storefront from the brand story.
Yep.
And what they do is they create that brand, their storefront page with focus on upselling specific items that are the most likely purchases from their, whatever their main listing item is. So,
yep, for sure.
What you have is you have a listing that's performing well, doing well in terms of conversion, receiving reasonable amount of traffic and blah, blah. And then right there on that particular listings page, you have a brand story that says, click here to do whatever. And then that takes you to the storefront. And right there on the storefront is the perfect upsell to that main item. And
yep.
of course, you can also offer some discounts or whatever. And right there, you have a way to increase your average order value, right? So that's more sales. And at the same time, you have no competition there. It's your storefront. There's no
absolutely. I think that last bit is really kind of the key with storefronts is you're able to still present your product in a very beautiful way if you're a brand or a seller, but you get to eliminate some of the noise that naturally exists on a product detail page, which is pretty clutch.
Yeah. So, I mean, we really ought to bring you back because we just started really, scraping the surface.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
So